I know what hatred looks like. Angel Reese hates Caitlin Clark.
We're calling the plays, all right?
You gotta listen and you gotta execute.
I already feel good about me. I'm good.
Just call it.
Man, you talking about a story taking off and growing legs? Good grief. We ain't even through week 1 in the WNBA, and you already got drama with Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese and their fans and the trolls that come along with them. Now, I make that distinction because I've said this before. I said it all last year. Caitlin Clark fans aren't coming after Angel Reese. Angel Reese fans aren't coming off after Caitlin Clark. In my opinion, these are the trolls on both sides that are just trying to cause confusion, trying to cause chaos and all of that type of stuff. So covering the game, a lot of people were saying, I started here in the room, but did you hear about them making monkey sounds at the game? And I was like, first of all, how do you make monkey sounds in the stands? Not saying it didn't happen, but out of all things to hear, that didn't sound right. It would have made more sense if folks would have said they was cussing out Angel or cussing at her or whatever the situation is. But monkey sounds, that just didn't sound right to me. But in any case, the WNBA comes out and says they have heard about they've heard about the allegations and they are investigating. Now, the first thing I thought of is, well, let's pause for a minute, because everybody on the Caitlin Clark side is like, that's bullshit. That didn't happen, blah, blah, blah. Everybody on the Angel Reese side is like, see, I told you they was racist, and they just, both sides go full tilt to their beliefs. And it's like, come on, somebody got to be the adult in the room, and you got to exercise a little common sense. Number one, they playing at Gamebridge Arena, Gamebridge Fieldhouse. That's the same place where the Pacers play. Why does that matter? Because if they are playing at the same place that the Indiana Pacers play, now you're talking about an NBA team with NBA money, with NBA security. Not necessarily on the floor, but how do you think they find the rowdy fans and the drunk people and the folks throwing shit on the floor? How do you think they find them? They got a security room, and they can zoom in on any section, on any seat, and they got shotgun microphones. If anybody is not into multimedia like me, a shotgun microphone is one of them long, thin microphones. And when you point it in a certain direction, it picks up whatever its distance is. It can pick up anything at that distance. So if you sitting 30 feet away and you focus it and you point it at somebody at the end of the bench, you should be able to hear what they're saying. How do you think that they can get audio from the guys on the floor or on the field? They ain't all mic'd up. You see the microphones that look like a satellite dish with the mic coming out the middle. They point it. It's the same thing. And I'm saying all that to say, if you playing where an NBA team plays and you talking about the Indiana Fever with arguably the most popular female basketball player in the world at this point in time, you're going to have next level security. You're going to have NBA level security. So what I'm saying is they probably have access to the same instruments, the same tools that the Pacers have to monitor the games, because the game was packed. It was a full house. So security's on high alert and everything that comes with that. If they can figure out which idiots are having sex in the stands, they can find out who's saying derogatory stuff. And not for nothing, usually the players on the court will point that shit out. And there has been times in the past where players on both sides will point people out. I'm not saying it did or didn't happen. All I'm saying is we live in a 4K technology era. Everybody and their mama, half the people in that stadium had their phones out recording something. So something's going to pop one way or the other. And the fact that they are investigating the allegations, what that says to me is they heard enough complaints from the Chicago side, so they got to look into it. So they put out a blank statement to make everybody think that they're trying to figure out something. But in my guess, they already know whether there was something there or not. Because if there was something there, they would have already addressed it. They would have already addressed it with those people, kick them out, booed them or whatever, they would have already addressed it with Chicago. They probably would apologize, whatever the situation was. It is too easy to find that stuff out because the technology that exists in those arena is too much. It's too high to let something like that go without figuring it out. It's easy to figure out. Just rewatch the game because you got the cuts that the networks have. The networks have access to so many cuts, B-roll footage, sounds. Most people don't realize what they're watching on TV. You don't get the sound of the arena, but that raw footage does exist to whoever's broadcasting the game. So if the WNBA want to get access to that, they can get access to it. But the other thing is you got to understand in the world that we living in now with AI and what people can do and 11 labs and all of these, it's all funny when everybody putting a little video that makes your favorite pop star or Dave Chappelle look like a little baby and mimicking the words and stuff like that. Most of the people don't really understand how powerful that is. So what makes you think if you can feed a picture to a computer and it spits out a picture of you as a baby, animated, singing the song, what makes you think that same technology can't create sounds where they don't exist? Now I'm talking about something that I know because that's what I do. I'm into multimedia. You see my background. That's what I do for a living. So I understand that technology and what it can do. And it doesn't take rocket science to operate it. It just takes somebody that has a little bit of time on their hands and they can do some things that can be straight scandalous if they want to do it. So you got to keep that in mind. So when people jump on Twitter and jump on Instagram and they just put stuff out there, you automatically gonna have a whole group of people that'll just get it and run with it. The problem with now is nobody does their damn homework. Nobody. They want to grab the first thing that matches their point of view on a specific topic. Nobody's doing their homework. Then you got all of this stuff going with RG3. Like RG3, why you got to even insert yourself into the conversation? Let alone you gonna tell this young black woman how she should be feeling? Like you already know? You don't know the conversation she done had and you don't know what she going through. And let me preface this by saying, I'm saying that as an Indiana Fever Caitlin Clark fan. Don't get it twisted. For RG3 to insert himself in this conversation, how he did based on that foul and based on her reaction, you can't tell me Angel Reese doesn't hate Caitlin Clark. What? So you mean to tell me I can just casually stroll by and watch you and your people, and I got the right to come up with any point of view based on the minimal amount of conversation and context that I get? I don't care what she said or what she said in the past. You don't know what's going on behind closed doors. And for you to insinuate that somebody hates somebody else, this is the look. You're going to try to tell you're going to try to dictate how another black woman, a young black woman is feeling in a particular situation. And this is the look with your wife in the background. Do we need to go into the isms and the ists of how this looks? That is not a good look, bro. That is not a good look at all. Not to mention, it ain't your conversation to join in. If you don't like what Angel Reese did or like how she reacted, that's one thing. But to just come out and say there's no way that she don't hate Caitlin Clark, time out, bro. Pump your brakes. Pump your brakes. That, like, you stepping over the line. You stepping way over the line, bro. I don't know why he did that. He put out his tweet. Then he had to put out a 22-minute video to co-sign his tweet. That's a problem. Stand on what you said, but you ain't got to put out a 22-minute explanation. Dude, when you got your wife in the background, that's not a good look, bro. Not in this situation. Not when you're talking about a young black woman who you don't know personally. That's where we are right now. Let's keep it a buck. This is what it's coming down to right now. You got your traffic. You got your clicks. That's what this was about. Because if you was really trying to have some type of real conversation, or if you really cared how Angel Reese was feeling about the situation or whatever, you could have, I'm sure you big enough in your circles, you could have reached out to her. But to put it out there like this, I'll call foul on that one, bro. Did nobody have anything to say did you say Alyssa Thomas hated Angel Reese when she slammed her on her neck? Did any of that come into play? Did anybody else hate Caitlin Clark with the hard fouls and then they come find out it's just basketball plays? Does Diana Taurasi hate all of the people when she was doing her dirty play when she was still playing? Did she hate anybody? And you a damn professional athlete, so you should know better. It's one thing to dislike somebody because they're an opponent, but how many times have we seen that same dude that you don't like, a trade happens, now he on your team. Now you got to switch up. It ain't no difference in the W. They played together. They have history, good history, bad history. But you know what? They work it out on the next game. But that is not for you to say, oh, I know she hates her. And like, come on, man. Don't do that. That's not a good look. Definitely not a good look. And kind of going back to what people were saying, what was going on in the stadium, here's somebody, clearly a young black woman, that was at the game. She let her feelings be known. She said she was there. She said there wasn't nothing but booze there, none of the racist stuff. And she said she had friends there. She saw a lot of black faces, young faces. She saw young kids wearing Angel Reese jerseys, young kids wearing Caitlin Clark jerseys. And she said it was all good. Did they boo after Angel Reese, got all upset? Yes, they did. She said, but that was as far as it goes. So why should I not believe her if she said she was on site? And everybody's quick to believe the other side that said they were making racist sounds and things of that. Somebody got to be adult in the room and try to make sense of it. Try to keep it 100, try to keep the toxic on the bench. But folks got to learn how to do their homework now. It's too many distractions out there. And everybody's doing the content for clicks. Nobody's trying to do their homework. Yes, Caitlin Clark had a good game. Do I believe she fouled? Yes, that was a hard foul. Happens all the time. How come when the guys do it, ain't nobody got a problem with it? How come when it happens in the NBA? Oh, hell, when they get in each other's face and jaw jacking and they push and stuff like that, how come ain't nobody got a problem with it? You bitch, moan, and complain, and then it goes to the next game and then it's forgotten about within the hours. Maybe you'll see something on Sports Center, but just as quick as they show it, they done moved on to the next dunk. How come folks don't dwell on that in the NBA? And then you act like it never happens in the W. The clip I'm showing in the background, that's from a couple years ago. People need to stop acting like these women don't play hard. These women don't get upset. They don't get fired up. I ain't got no problem with Angel Reese being fired up. Your team is getting drugged. You trying to keep the spark going and you trying to keep playing. If somebody gets a hard foul, yes, you're going to be frustrated. That was a frustration reaction. Let's keep it real. If Chicago had been up by 15, it wouldn't have gone down like that. So I ain't getting mad at Angel Reese's reaction. That's how you're supposed to react. Did I think she was, and this is the other thing that RG3 said. He said that Angel Reese was about to punch her. And I'm like, come on, dog. You know how this goes. You get in somebody's face and you roll the head a little bit. Maybe you push each other. If it escalates after that, it escalates after that. Did I believe that Angel Reese was going to try to punch Caitlin Clark? Not at all. Would she have gotten her face, maybe put a finger in her face or something like that? That's possible. But with all of the stuff, and this is where I got to give Angel Reese some credit. This girl done played at Maryland, done played at LSU, won a championship with Kim Mulkey, and then she playing in Chicago. You don't think she don't know how to handle herself? You ain't think she ain't never been in that type of situation where somebody done stepped to her, and you know what the situation is. And it ain't going to help you win the game. At the end of the day, it's at such a point right now where people are losing their shit over everything. That was a basketball play on both sides of it. I don't mind that Caitlin Clark did it. I don't mind that she got the flagrant. Sometimes, did I think it was a flagrant? No, I thought it was just a hard foul. Did I think Angel Reese did a little flopping? Yeah, I did. But to me, that comes from Angel Reese was going up hard. And it happens all the time, happens almost every game. Somebody's underneath the basket, they got the ball low, and they're trying to bring the ball high. And when she tried to bring the ball high, grabbed her, lost her balance, she flipped over, and you saw Caitlin Clark kind of follow through. The follow through is what got her the damn flagrant. But I understand it. Forget about her pushing Natasha Howard out the way. That's what started the whole thing. But you win some, you lose some. You get some calls, and some calls you don't. Sometimes you get the bear, sometimes the bear gets you. And in this case, Caitlin Clark, they got you. She throw her arms up in the air like she ain't do nothing. Like, come on, let's keep it a buck. Angel Reese got the call on this one. Rightfully so, in my opinion. But guess what? It was a basketball play, and this shit happens every game. And ain't nobody got a problem with it. Even last year, they raised all of that hell about people assaulting Caitlin Clark, but then nobody say a damn thing about what Alyssa Thomas did to Angel Reese when she got slammed on her neck. Ain't nobody say shit about that. Now you done flipped it 180. Now you go on the other side. And I'm sorry. I love Angel Reese. Keep doing what you're doing. Keep getting them rebounds. Let them hate on you for them rebounds. And you know what? Keep developing that jump shot. But guess what? If that type of foul is going to get you that upset, you got to look inwards, because that shit gonna happen all the time. Because any team worth they salt, if they see that and they know that's how to get under your skin and get you out of your game, You giving up the ghost right there. Don't give them the game. Make them earn it. But at the end of the day, it comes down with all of these people saying they fans and they just really trolls. And all they doing is putting out that chaos and confusion. I'm trying to keep it a buck. I'm trying to keep it 100. I like both players. I like Angel Reese and I like Caitlin Clark. But you know what? I will keep it a buck. If Caitlin Clark is in one of her moods and she ain't hitting her shots and her body language is trash, I'm going to call her out on it. If she turning the ball over, I'm going to call her out on it. If Angel Reese ain't hitting her shots and ain't getting the rebounds and she playing like shit, I'm going to call her out on it. Don't mean I don't like her. My perspective is different. I played football at the highest level, so I know what I'm looking at. It's not about fandom. It's about what you do on the court because that's what's going to matter. But it is what it is. I'll end it on this. At least Angel had enough sense of mind in the post-game press conference to just squash it. She just squashed it. Basketball play, refs got it right, move on.